Yo, 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 yo.
Loving you, they put me on the different mindset. Girl, not only you, they make me stick to one girl.
Links Live. I'm your host, Dame Links. Y'all already know what time it is. Man, I'm having a good time tonight. I'm just having a real good time. This show is like real off the cuff. And I really killed the mixes tonight. Links Live, I'm your host, Dame. Links, remember, love yourself, no exceptions. And here, you know, we always got to keep it PC. We definitely going to keep it pop culture. Real fun episode tonight. I do have some church announcements for you. Before we get out of here, before we wrap up, there's some things. All right, let me go to my notepad. Ooh. Y'all know I'm trying to lay off the smoking, but you know, church announcements, I got to give it to you. Let me take a little sip real quick. All right, here, Links Live. You know, we got to keep it PC. You know, we're going to keep it pop culture. I do got some church announcements for you guys. So, Trump continues to make the news. I want to talk about something funny that he did, though. I know he's been doing a lot of BS. Well, in a recent campaign ad for him, I guess, allegedly resolving the issues with, don't give me the line. I think there was something going on in Russia. I don't even remember now. I wrote this down so long ago. Anyway, in a little campaign ad that he dropped, he decided to use Usher's song Daddy's Home. You know, also he used Beyonce Freedom in a promo run while he was running, and Beyonce sent him a cease and desist. Look, Trump is a character. I ain't even gonna hold you. I just really sit around just waiting on to see what he's gonna do next. So just be prepared for more foolishness. But speaking of Usher, his Live in Paris movie is now streaming on Apple, and I loved it. When I tell you I was glued to the television, like, I know Usher's that guy, don't get me wrong. I know about Usher Raymond. I'm pretty sure there's some footage of me somewhere dancing around the My Way doing the choreography. But watching the Live in Paris footage, the movie setup, the concert, I clearly forgot. Clearly the Super Bowl didn't remind me enough. The Vegas residency didn't remind me enough. This, Usher, you have been on an amazing run the last couple of years. Shout out to Usher, living legend. I have watched you since your first day into the game. So to see where you are now and you're still consistent and you look amazing, it's just so inspiring to us 40 plus people that look amazing. Shameless plug. No, shout out to Usher. Clearly I forgot some shit along the way. You know, T-Pain was recently on a podcast speaking on Drake, saying that at one point Drake told him that he doesn't want to be forced out of the game. He wants to leave before it's too late. And he took it upon him to say that Drake did not do that. You know, the whole Kendrick and Drake beef has gone on for the last year. And I get that Drake lost the beef. Now, y'all know Drake is my brother. OVO for life. I'm always going to be down with Champagne Poppy. You know, I'm Moscato Poppy. But I just kind of feel like the whole dissing Drake thing is low-hanging fruit at this point. And so people are acting like Drake's career is over after the whole Kendrick Lamar beef, when y'all know that's not true. Because Nokia still went crazy earlier this year and is still going crazy. All Drake has to do is just continue. Drake's fan base, the Drake's fans, us, we gonna fool with Drake no matter what. We don't care nothing about no beef. Yeah, he lost the battle. Yes, he got annihilated. But you can't deny Drake's ability to make hits. He's a star. And people just hating on it. Drake also dropped a new single, What Did I Miss? He's back in his bag. The Iceman is coming. But I just feel like the whole dissing Drake thing is just low-hanging fruit. And it's just y'all really wanting to get Drake up out of here. And I'm sorry to inform you, Drake's not going anywhere. Losing the battle does nothing for him career-wise other than give y'all something against him. He's still that dude. So let's move on from this. Not Like Us is still a banger now. Don't get me wrong. You can still play Not Like Us because that song, I'm sorry. I'm an honest critic. I'm an honest fan. Ooh, speaking of being an honest fan, so Nicki Minaj has been on a tirade going at Jay-Z, Roc Nation, Desiree Perez. Desiree Perez's name kind of came up with the whole Tory and Megan thing. I've never known who she was, but apparently she's like some big wig at Roc Nation. Anyway, back to Nicki. Nicki Minaj has been going on a rant about Jay-Z owing her about $200 million from the title deal. And my opinion is this. I don't like when Nicki does this. I don't like when she goes on the internet, does all her little rants and does her thing, because automatically people start calling her crazy. They say she's off her meds. I feel like this. If somebody owed me $200 million, I would have an issue with it too. I know y'all would. I'll be mad if somebody owed me $20. And also, Nicki just hasn't been, it's been proven over time that when Nicki does her rants, she's not just talking out the side of her neck. There's nothing that has really happened with Nicki that has turned out to be any type of lie. I also don't feel like she will be making such distinct, specific allegations if they weren't true. So, I don't know. I just feel like when it's Nicki, y'all just want it to be the worst. Granted, I don't like how Nicki handles things. I don't like when she goes on her Twitter rants doing her thing, but it just comes with the territory. But I don't know. I just don't think that she will be lying about Jay-Z and owing her $200 million from the title deal. Now, there's rumors going around that she didn't sign the paperwork to receive whatever payout she was supposed to get from the title deal. And if so, that's on Nicki. But I don't know. I stand with Nicki even when she acting crazy. I just kind of feel like y'all like to just put her in this crazy bucket. But she ain't been caught in no lie yet. So, all right. So, there is this clip with B. Simone from her podcast, Let's Try This Again, which I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I have been listening to B. Simone's podcast since the new one dropped. I listen to the old one with Megan sometimes, just depending on who they had on the show or what they may have been talking about. But I like B. Simone. I like B. Simone as a personality. I feel like people are always looking for a reason to drag her, but I think that she's hilarious. I think that she's very smart. And she's handling her business. So there's a viral clip going around. There was she was on the podcast with her best friend, kind of like her assistant, and they were discussing the process of their things that have gone on in their friendship. They were just having a very casual conversation, and the friend brought up, how hard it is being close with a celebrity friend or a friend that's well off, because people think that she's automatically entitled to whatever wealth, opportunities, things like that their celebrity friend. And that has not been her experience. She mentioned that she went through a very devastating year in the last year. And she was homeless. She lost her job. She was very much down on her luck. And B. Simone did not offer her a thing. Now, in the conversation, they were just talking about the progression and the growth of their friendship. But people clipped that one little clip, and now they're bashing B. Simone for not helping her friend. And also, people are saying, well, if this was my friend, that wouldn't be me, and da-da-da. And here's the thing. Speaking from personal experience, that is a bunch of BS. I think that people are giving B. Simone the villain character in this situation, and it's not warranted, because these two ladies were talking about how their friendship has grown, and they were discussing the situation that happened in the past that they clearly have already worked through, because if you saw the full interview, you would see how they discussed it. Now, me personally, the last couple years, I went through a whole thunderstorm, a tornado, a hurricane. And I also have come to know that for me personally, I have problems with asking for help. That's something I'm working on. I'll probably never get over it. It just is what it is. I've always been in the position where I've had to take care of myself. And I think about going through just that whole situation where I basically lost everything. I'm recovering from that as we speak. And my friends were around me and they did not notice, did not acknowledge. I ain't gonna say they did not care, but they did not go out of their way to do anything for me financially. And I didn't expect them to, because I feel like as an adult, I put myself in that situation. I have to work my way out of it. But I think that oftentimes we will talk about what we'll do for people or what we will do in certain situations. And I love my best friend. I love my best friend. I love my friend, and my friend will never struggle. But a lot of times y'all don't even notice what y'all friends are going through, and your friends are scared to ask. And one of the things that I had to come to terms with is you have not because you ask not. You know, at no point when you notice that your friends are transitioning, when you notice that they may be gaining weight, it could be little stuff. They're not shopping the way that they used to. They're not keeping themselves up the way that they used to, or even just noticing that the way they were living before is not how they're living now. I went from 2 apartments, renting one out on Airbnb, 2 cars, renting one out on Turo, to literally having nothing. And people thought, oh, you're handling this situation so well. Well, I'm like, well, what you expect me to do? You want me to just roll over and lay here and cry and die? It's like, in order for people to understand that you're going through something, you have to literally be laid out on your deathbed for people to realize, oh, you need some help. I think that a lot of times people are scared to ask for help because they are the strong friend. I am the strong friend. And so I will figure it out. I know that I'm going to figure it out, but I think at some point as friends, you should notice there are changes there and offer some form of support if you want to, but you're not obligated to do so. So I think that's where I'm torn with the situation with B. Simone, because I saw the full interview before it even went viral. I listened to the entire conversation and it hit me because I was in that situation where my life was in shambles, and I'm working through it. I'm navigating through it. I'm working these jobs that I hate after finally finding a job. I'm driving all around Maryland doing DoorDash all day long, and people are thinking, oh, you're handling this so well. This was not my life literally a year ago. So I think, you know, there's just signs. We have to just be more intuitive than that. I just feel like I personally can tell when something is going on with my friends. I just am naturally like that. And I just refuse to believe that I'm the only person that's like that. But we can't sit here and say, oh, if I saw my friend going through this, I would do this. Because you may not even notice. You know? People are so wrapped up in their own worlds that they don't even notice. And those of us that are going through things, we're not trying to ask for things. Look, I got a lot of trauma when it comes to that. Like, I've never had anybody do anything for me that did not come with some direct form of recoupment. Like, no one's ever done it. I can maybe count on one hand the times people have done things for me that didn't require, you know, some form of reciprocation. You know, as a friend, I'm going to reciprocate anyway. But when it comes to just me handling my business, especially as an adult, I can't do anything but take care of me. So I just think that we got to give people a little grace and understanding, and we got to just stop judging people off of these clips, because you guys are dragging B. Simone for no reason. And no one's coming to save you, dawg. No one's coming to save you but you. She was not obligated. Yeah, it would have been nice for her to help her friend out when she was down on that time. But for whatever reason, we don't know, she didn't do it in that time. That doesn't make B. Simone a bad person, because we don't know the specifics of what happened. So you have not because you ask not. No one is coming to save you. So that's all I'm going to say. Look, that's it. I could talk about this like forever. I don't want to go too far, but I did want to get real deep as far as like just us giving people grace and understanding as we're growing through this world, because it ain't easy. All right, look, that's going to be it for LYNX Live. I'm your host, Dame LYNX. Remember, love yourself, no exceptions. Remember, run over to YouTube, run over to SoundCloud, Type in DAMELYNX and hit subscribe, share. That way you can keep up with everything I got going on. I just dropped a new Leg Day 2 mix. Finally, that's out on my SoundCloud, and I love it. I'm excited about it. All right, that's going to be it. I'll see y'all next time. Oh, I do have a cool kid of the week. Look, shout out to Lizzo, man. She dropped a rap album. I didn't even know that. I came across the freestyle for Win Whammy. Man, Lizzo ate this up. Lizzo get on my nerves, but musically, she can do whatever she wants, in my opinion. Here's Lizzo with the Win Whammy freestyle.